Welcome back. My name is BALLERSCUBA. This is Video Games Over Time. Today we're going to talk about the world in 1973. We will once again start in the field of technology. The Cartrivision, an American analog videocassette format started in 1972, ceased production, citing poor sales. The movie rental service, the first of its kind, is also discontinued. The discontinuation of the system probably does not come as a surprise, but the rental service concept would be revisited in the future. Xerox, an American technology company, developed the Xerox Alto. The Alto was the first computer to support an operating system with a graphical user interface, or GUI. Because of the GUI, this is also the first computer with a mouse, a small peripheral for controlling a cursor on the screen. It is considered by some to be the first personal computer, and by more to be one of the first workstation computers. These computers were not widely commercially available, so were not a commercial success, with only 2,000 units being made over the next 10 years. Despite its commercial limitations, the Xerox Alto was considered to be the future of computing and would be highly influential, mostly due to others stealing its concepts. On April 3, 1973, Martin Cooper, an American engineer working at Motorola, an American telecommunications company, made the first handheld cellular phone call. At a public demonstration on 6th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan, Martin Cooper called John Francis Mitchell, Motorola's chief of portable communication products, in the first phone call by a cell phone. Cooper would then make several more phone calls, including a call to his chief competitor to show off his accomplishment. Cooper was holding nothing back. In American politics, President Nixon was sworn in for his second term as President of the United States after his victory in 1972. President Nixon then announced that a peace accord had been reached with Vietnam, marking the beginning of the end of the Vietnam War. The troops would start to come home, but the impact that the Vietnam War would have on those troops and the country as a whole would last for decades. Turning to the media of 1973, the highest grossing films of 1973 are The Sting, The Exorcist,
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock.
American Graffiti,
9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock.
Papillon, and The Way We Were. Some other notable films in 1973 include Charlotte's Web, Enter the Dragon, Godzilla vs. Megalon, Live and Let Die, and Robin Hood. And in video game related film news, computer space was shown in the sci-fi film Soylent Green. Video games were seen as the way of the future, albeit in a dystopian world with a screaming Charlton Heston. Moving to sports, in American football, the Miami Dolphins defeated Washington 14-7 to win Super Bowl VII, completing an undefeated season. In boxing, George Foreman defeated Joe Frazier by TKO in the second round to win the World Heavyweight Boxing Championship. In baseball, the Oakland Athletics defeated the New York Mets 4-3 to win the World Series. In basketball, the New York Knicks defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 4-1 to win the NBA Finals. The Indiana Pacers defeated the Kentucky Colonels 4-3 to win the ABA Finals. In hockey, the Montreal Canadiens defeated the Chicago Blackhawks 4-2 to win the Stanley Cup. In golf, Jack Nicklaus won the PGA Championship and was the PGA Tour money leader. In NASCAR, Benny Parsons won the NASCAR Grand National Series. On television, the highest rated television shows of the 1972-73 season were All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Hawaii Five-0, Maude, and Bridget Loves Bernie. Some notable television debuts in 1973 include A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, Star Trek the Animated Series, Super Friends, and Boku no Doraemon. 1973 also marks the end for the new Scooby-Doo movies television show, as well as Boku no Doraemon. In literature, William Goldman released The Princess Bride. In music, there are two concerts in particular worth noting. First, Elvis Presley aired a concert from Hawaii live on television. This televised concert was watched by more people than the Apollo 11 moon landing. The king was more popular than what was seen as humanity's greatest achievement. Second, Led Zeppelin set an attendance record for a concert by a single act, playing to 56,800 fans in Tampa Stadium to break the record held by the Beatles' 1965 Shea Stadium concert. In terms of singles, I have once again linked a playlist to the Billboard #1 songs of 1973. This is the world of 1973, and it is into this world that several video games were published. These are the video game honorable mentions of 1973. Space Race, a racing arcade game developed by Ted Dabney and released by Atari Inc., the first racing arcade game and Atari's second game. This game was not very successful, selling only 1,500 units. Lemonade Stand, a text-based business simulation computer game created by Bob Jameson of the Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium, or MECC. It was designed for mainframe computers to teach children the basics of business management. Maze War, a 3D first-person shooting game written by Steve Coley on the IMLAC PDS-1 at the NASA Ames Research Center. This could be the first 3D first-person game, but its official release date is uncertain. Hunt the Wumpus, a text-based adventure computer game created by Gregory Yob and published by the People's Computer Company in their magazine. In this game, the player hunts for the Wumpus while overcoming several obstacles. That, at least from a video game perspective, is the world of 1973. My name is BALLERSCUBA. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in 1974.